Hello and welcome back to Sacred Magick 101. I am Sammy. Today we're going to get back on the topic of Aztec mythology. Today we're going to be going over the origin of maize and the creation of pulque. Two of the most important staples in Aztec agriculture were maize and maguey, which is a type of agave cactus. Maize was and still is a staple food for many Central American traditional cultures and had an important place in the mythology and the concepts of themselves as people. Pulque was an intoxicating beverage used primarily for ritual purposes, but the maguey plant had uses beyond providing the sap from which pulque was fermented. The leaves were edible and were used to make paper. The thorns were used as ritual objects like needles, and rope and cloth could be made from its fibers. In the stories about maize and pulque, as in the last tale, and the last legend story that I told you guys of the creation of the new people from fish bones and gods' blood, we see the vital function of Quetzalcoatl as a trickster who uses his shape-shifting abilities to find things that will benefit from human beings. Okay? Oxomoco and Sipacotonal, the first man and woman ever created, play a role in bringing maize to the people. Here we see that Aztec myth is divided as to which of these mythical personajes is male and female, right? And Sipacotonal male, but in the story of the origin of maize, the genders are reversed. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. Once the gods had recreated people out of their own blood and the bone of the fish the Quetzalcoatl brought out of Mictlan, they saw that these new beings had no food to eat, so they went looking for a source of food for people. Quetzalcoatl looked, and finally he saw a little ant carrying a kernel of maize in its jaws. "Where did you get that?" said Quetzalcoatl to the ant. "I'm not going to tell you," said the ant, and it continued its march back to its hive. Quetzalcoatl followed the ant. "That looks like a fine kind of food," said the god. "Where did you get it?" But the ant wouldn't answer. It kept walking along with the maize in its jaws. Quetzalcoatl wouldn't give up. "Where did you get that?" he said to the ant. The ant saw that the god would not leave it alone until it answered his question. So the ant took Quetzalcoatl to a great mountain called Tonocatli, the mountain of food. Quetzalcoatl saw long lines of ants streaming into and out of the mountain. He changed himself into an ant and followed his guide into the mountain. Inside the mountain were huge piles of maize and other good things to eat. Still, in his ant form, Quetzalcoatl picked up a kernel of maize in his jaws and brought it outside of the mountain. When he had collected enough maize, he brought it back to Tamochan, the blessed place, where the gods were waiting with their newly made people. Quetzalcoatl gave the grains of maize to the gods. They tasted the maize and realized it would make the best food of all for the new people. But they did not know how to get it out of the mountain and carry it to their new people. For turning themselves into ants to remove it one kernel at a time would take too much time and labor. "I know," said Quetzalcoatl to the other gods. "I will go and get the mountain and bring it here if you will help me." So the gods went to Mount Quetzalcoatl together. They tied many strong ropes around the mountain. They pulled and pulled and pulled, but the mountain would not move. Quetzalcoatl and the other gods went back to Conchatan, feeling very discouraged. Then Oxomoco took some of the grains of maize that Quetzalcoatl had brought back with him. With the help of his wife, Sipacotonal, Oxomoco performed a divination with the maize. "What do the kernels of maize tell you?" asked Quetzalcoatl. Oxomoco said, "The mountain must be broken open. But the only one who can do this thing is Nanahuatsesin. Nanahuatzin, the sickly god, agreed to open the mountain of food. He asked Kalok, the god of rain, whether he might have the help of the Kaloke, the servants of Kalok, who are the lords of rain and lightning. Kalok said, I will gladly let them go with you. Kalok summoned his 4 servants, and these were the blue Kaloke, the white Kaloke, the yellow Kaloke, and the red Kaloke. You will go with Nanahuatzin and help him break open the mountain of food, said Kalok to his servants. And Nanahuatzin and the Kalok went to Mount Tecopelitli. Nanahuatzin and the Kalok used their powers to split the mountain open. Out of the mountain poured every good thing, maize, beans, amaranth, and many other seeds that people could plant and eat for food. But the gods were jealous of this bounty. And so the Kaloke took it all away. Thus is the Kalok and his servants stole out rain and food to the people in season. Quetzalcoatl and the other gods looked upon the people they had made. The people had food to eat and seeds to plant, and the land they lived in was good, but the people were not happy. So Quetzalcoatl set out to find something that would help the new people have happiness as well as good food. The god went up into the heavens where he found Mayahuel, the goddess of the maguey cactus. Mayahuel was the granddaughter of a Tzitzimitzili, which is a deity of a star that shines in the night sky. Quetzalcoatl went to the Mayahuel and said, come with me to earth. I need your help to make a thing for the people so they can be happy. Mayahuel secretly went with Quetzalcoatl, for she feared the wrath of her grandmother and the other Tzitzimini, who struggle every night to keep shining in the black sky but are pushed away by the sun. Together, Mayahuel and Quetzalcoatl entwined their bodies, turning themselves into a tall tree. Mayahuel was one branch of the tree and Quetzalcoatl was the other. When Mayahuel's grandmother woke from her sleep, she saw that her granddaughter was missing. She called to the Sisimele and ordered them to find and kill Mayahuel. The Tisisemi went down to earth. They searched high and low for Mayahuel until they finally came upon the tree that she and Quetzalcoatl had become. The Tisisemi attacked the tree. They knocked it down and broke the branches apart. Mayahuel's grandmother recognized the branch that was Mayahuel. She broke it into many small pieces and gave these to the other Tisimi to eat. Quetzalcoatl branch was not touched by the Tisimi, and when the star gods had gone back to the heavens, Quetzalcoatl resumed his own form. He looked about him and saw bones of Mayahuel scattered in pieces around Sorrowful. Quetzalcoatl picked up the bones. He planted them carefully in the earth. And after a time, maguey plants sprang from them. Quetzalcoatl then took the sap from the plants and fermented into the pulque. He brought the pulque to the people and gave it to them to drink. They found that when they drink it, their hearts were lighter, and it made them want to sing and dance. And so it was that the gods gave the people maize to their food and pulque to be their wine. Once again, I am Sami, and this is Sacred Magick 101. I really hope you are enjoying all of our different videos of Aztec mythology, as well as the other videos we do. So, fun fact for those of you that don't know. Pulque is still very widely made in Mexico and drink, especially in the southern parts of Mexico and the mountain regions or native lands, right? It is something that is made quite often and is drink usually for ceremonies, rituals, festivals, as well as deaths, right? So like velorios, okay? So hopefully you guys are really enjoying and learning some things from all the videos we are doing here, okay? Um, I really hope you guys are taking all of this in and actually learning. Next time, when we do another video with our Aztec mythology, we are going to be going over how Quetzalcoatl brought music to the people. So that is our next story on my list. Okay, have a great week. Love and be loved, and bless others and be blessed. Again, this is Sammy with Sacred Magick 101.